A few years ago, I spent a while trying to learn the whole second book of MAKROKOSMOS. Unfortunately, the piano I was learning on didn't really have a functioning sostenuto pedal, so a few of the movements were sort of impossible, but it was good to sit down and try to figure out how to do all these extended techniques and how to kind of get the flow of the piece, because that's really important to a lot of his work. And then last year up in Boston, I played the third book of MAKROKOSMOS. A percussionist at the Boston Conservatory wanted to put it on his senior recital, and so he got another percussionist friend of his, and then a friend of mine and me for the piano parts, and we spent a whole semester putting it together, and it was a really great experience. Well, I really like the movements where he kind of starts thinking about time in a very different way. For instance, one of the movements that I'm playing, it opens with this sequence of minor chords which descend chromatically but go up in inversion, and he ends a tritone away from where he began. And then later on in the movement, he does the exact same thing, and it gets him right back to where he started. So just this idea of time as not necessarily progressing forward, but as moving but getting nowhere. Moving and always staying the same way. And then I also really like all of the movements where he just goes crazy with the sonorities. Like there's of course the Nostradamus movement where he has these, it's all minor chords, and he has these really high, really loud ones and really low, really soft ones, and the kind of distance that creates, the space, is really magical. Something that always stuck out to me was the fact that it's not just for piano, it's for amplified piano, and that he doesn't say that it's just so you can hear the quiet things, but also it completely changes how the loud things are perceived. And part of it depends on how you amplify it, but I always imagined it with speakers all around the audience, so that it's really an immersive experience and that they're surrounded by the space of the music, as opposed to just seeing a player play it in front of them. I think a big part of these pieces is just the novelty of the sounds that are created and of what those sounds could potentially signify. It always helped me to imagine myself just in space with all of these sounds happening around me, and the sounds are really strange. They're not sounds we're used to encountering, but in many cases they can directly connect to sounds that we know, that we've heard. I think one more thing to listen for over the course of both concerts is the places where he takes the same material and presents it in different books. There's the Twin Suns movement, which has these beautiful sparkling kind of piano figures, and then this kind of chorale that just feels slow but hot in a way. And then he builds an entire movement in the third book based on exactly the same material, and it sounds completely different.